This morning I'm at the tangerine store and I noticed these sad looking roses. They are marked 50% off and I don't need another rose, but I'm gonna get one of these guys. They have Christian Dior, Dolly Parton, Electron, Pink Miracle, Proudland, Liberty, Olympiad. There's Liberty down there. So it's between Liberty and Dolly Parton. So I will share with you which one I decided to go with. But I'm gonna be a rescue mom today because I can't help myself. Drum roll, please. And the rose that I chose to come home with me is Dolly Parton. Yay! I cannot leave Dolly at home. Dolly is an amazing person. She's an amazing country and western singer, and I'm not big on country western music. And this rose is worse off than when I picked it up because I left it in the packaging for an additional 13 days. What kind of a plant mom am I? So Dolly is resistant. She bounces back. She had a tough childhood growing up. If you know anything about her story, you understand and know that she's been through a lot, breaking through the music industry and all of that. So that's why I have hope for her. She is going to pull through. So we're going to go ahead and soak this baby for about 2 hours in water, and then I'm going to pot it up. So I already have a bucket of water, and that is where Miss Dolly's going to sit for at least a couple hours. And then I'm going to pot her up in this potting soil here. This pot is like one of these lightweight pots. I don't know what you call it, but it's very lightweight. It's not terracotta, but it looks like it. My father-in-law gave this to me. He wasn't using it and said, "Take it on home, girl." So that's what I did. And I'm going to put Dolly in this pot. And you got the instructions there at the bottom where it says Dolly Parton. It's a hybrid tea rose. This is by the company Vigoro, and it says it's a grade 2 non-patent rose. I don't know what grade 2 means. I'm sure there's a grade 1. Not sure what that means. I have to look it up. But yeah, this had some green on it when I bought it, and now I only see like one green cane. So I've got to take care of her ASAP, which is what I'm going to do. So the instructions are in here. I planted roses before, so I'm not going to read it, but essentially what I'm going to do is take Dolly out of the packaging, and then usually inside there's all this fluffy, I don't know if it's grounded up mulch, peat moss, stuff like that. That's to retain the moisture in the roots. And then I'm going to set her in here for 2 hours, and then I'm going to get her potted up. So I opened up the rose, and as you can see, the roots look very healthy, nice and moist. That's the purpose of this mulch stuff. I don't know what exactly it is. It feels hard. It feels like a bunch of bark. Just grounded up wood pieces, and but the root system looks really nice. So she may not need to be in the water for too long, but I will stick her in there for just a little bit. It won't be the full 2 hours. And see, when you get David Austin roses, you see huge amounts of roots on these things. So maybe that's what grade 2 means. It's just, it doesn't have such a vigorous rooting system, but that's not a lot. But if you've ever seen a David Austin rose, the roots on those, they're huge, very healthy, strong, thick. This is not that at all. So I'm hoping that she pulls through. I have plenty of faith and confidence that she will. So I'm going to stick her in the water and just let her soak for maybe 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. at the most. And then I will get her potted up. I won't put this in here. Well, maybe I could, and mix it up. That'll help with drainage. So I think I will just leave it in here and just mix this in really well with the soil that I put in. I'm doing this with one hand as usual because I'm too lazy to get my tripod out. So I apologize. Whoops, look at what I just did. So I'm too lazy to get out my tripod, but you understand, don't you? I didn't go all the way to the bottom with it, so I think this is good enough. And then we'll just leave a nice little hole, so in about 20 minutes I'll come back and get her potted up. Easy as that. We are ready to plant this rose now. I actually let this sit in the water for about 45 minutes. I got distracted, my husband called, and so here we are. And it's fine. And on the packaging it says you can actually leave this in water up to 24 hours. I did sit and take the time to read the instructions. I didn't think it was necessary because it was pretty moist in the first place, so I didn't adhere to that. So I just decided to do the 20 minutes, which turned into 45 minutes. But this is actually the instructions. I misspoke earlier. I was saying that this is the instructions. This is not the instructions. This actually tells you all about the rose itself, how much sun, how much water, bloom time, how big it's going to get, the hardiness zone, and fertilizer. So this is the instructions that's actually on the back of this package. So we're going to go ahead and get this planted up. So basically what I'm going to do is take this dolly out, and I'm going to kind of spread out the roots here. You probably can't see what I'm doing, but just spread those roots out a little bit. You don't want to bury the crown. You don't want to bury that because you'll get into trouble. This crown needs to be exposed right here. So you want to put your soil line right up to about this point here. So hopefully I have enough. My roots are pretty much spread out. There's not a whole lot of roots on this plant. So I'm hoping that we will be fine with this little thing. It's not necessarily in the center. I'm moving it over. You just want to put your soil around there. I may need to add a little bit more soil, but this is what I have right now. You know what? Well, no, it's fine. And so then what we'll do is take this water and water her in. Give it a nice little soak. And then finally what I'm going to do is take some of this pine wood chips here, and I'm going to put that on the top. So I'm going to top dress it. That'll help keep the moisture into the rose. And when you have roses in pots, you have to water more often because they are not in the ground fully insulated from the elements. So these pots are going to get quite warm, especially in the summertime. So you really have to stay on top of watering and fertilizing your roses. And that should do the trick. I'm going to take it back a little bit from the stem there, but let's see how she does. I hope she makes it. I'll keep you updated on how she's doing. I could not resist. Two things I wanted to mention to you. First of all, don't forget to label your flowers, plants, roses, shrubs, whatever it is. Don't forget to put a label on it so you know what it is. And then I put, of course, the day that I planted this rose, where I purchased it, and how much I purchased it for. Why do I do that? Because it's just nice to know. I pride myself on finding things and not paying full price for them. So it's nice to flip it over and see, oh, I got this at such and so store for such and so price. But that's just me. That's what I like to do. You can put on the back whatever you want, but definitely make sure that you label these. And then the tag that came with the actual rose itself, I do the same thing on the back. Basically, I just put that this was a potted plant, so I know that I didn't stick it in the ground. It's in a pot, because over time these are going to fade. Your labels will fade no matter what kind of marker you use. And so it's nice to have this, and I file this away with my other things like this, so that I can keep track of what I have and what I don't have. If they die, I can take it out of my file and toss it. So this is good to keep for information purposes. So that's just my little tip and what I do. Happy gardening.